I dictated one piece of the Veda mantra. Antakaya mrityave namaha. Antakaya mrityave namaha. Atharva 811. 811. That was the last one we discussed in the right? Am I right? Antakayam mrityave namaha. Eight 1-4. Utkrāmātaha, right? Utkrāmātaha purusha ma avapathaha. Okay. Kramo pada vikshepe. Kramo pada vikshepe. Pathaha. Patilre. Gamane patane. Patilre. Talare. Patilre. Gamane patane. Purusha. Suggests to the Jivatman. In colloquial Sanskrit, Purusha means male, that we discussed several times. But in the Vedic language, Purusha means the Jivatma. We take shelter in the Sharira Indriya Manas. Puri Shete iti Purushaha. Shete means we take shelter. Ataha. Ataha. From where you are. So you're all at a particular level, with a particular set of samskaras, with a particular set of capacities, with a particular level of knowledge. You're at a certain level. So first we have to mark it, where we are. What's our strengths? What are our weaknesses? What's our knowledge? What are our samskaras? That itself is a good process. It takes good time. We have to do it. And we should mark where we are. And you can call that as a benchmark. Benchmark. Ataha, from there, but we should know where we are. Then from there, Utkrama, move up. Let there be improvement. Let there be progress in all these things. Progress with reference to strengths. Progress with reference to weaknesses is reduction of weaknesses, overcoming the weaknesses. Knowledge to gain more. Samskaras to filter and enrich good samskaras and transform the old samskaras. Get rid of them. Ataha utkrama purusha. Ma avapathaha. Don't fall down. Wherever you are, from there, you are not supposed to go down. When it's down and up, it's all relative. And most of the time it is understood as something subjective, but no, it's objective. That we have discussed several times. Better we recollect once again. Progress, upwards, good, they're all defined with reference to the state of the soul. If the soul is stronger, yes, that is good. If there is anything which bestows strength on the soul, that is good. And if strength increases, that is progress. That's improvement. If it's the other way around, then it's all papa, sin, and there is no progress. Everything is referred to the soul. And when you study and experiment, you'll be knowing very easily. Say to tell a lie is very easy. You overcome the situation. But to confront with the truth and to speak truth and to take the brunt of it, it needs a lot of strength. So telling truth gives a strength to the soul. Telling a lie will spoil its strength. It's escapism. Anything for that matter, anything. To be cruel is easy and animal-like. To be tolerant and compassionate needs strength. It's an objective way of understanding this. It's not my opinion, it's not your opinion. That's a fact. So if you're compassionate and tolerant, which needs strength, that is called as progress. That is called as good. Intolerance and cruelty is bad because that takes away the strength in the soul. The soul suffers there. It's intolerant, it cannot bear it. Only a strong thing can bear load. A thing which is weak will crumble down because of that load. So strength is tolerance. After that, to understand the pains of others and be compassionate, it also requires patience and strength of the soul. Cruelty, on the other hand, doesn't care for the pains or pleasure of others. It just behaves selfishly. That doesn't increase the strength of the soul. So all this has to be first analyzed, and is possible only by regular introspection. So introspect regularly and find out where we are, what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, what are our good imprints, what are bad imprints, what are our likes and dislikes. All these things we analyze. Now all these we have to analyze within us only. So this analysis of ourselves, this knowledge of ourselves within is what is called as yoga. All this in a nutshell is referred to as chitta vritti. What happens inside us and what is behind it, what is the motivating factor. So to understand that and to manage it is what is called chitta vritti nirodha. And they have defined yoga chitta vritti nirodha. That's yoga. Of course, doing asana and pranayama is there, I'm not denying it. But the basic purpose of doing all these things finally is to understand one's own self. The very next sutra there says, Tata drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. That's the third sutra. Atha yoganushāsanam yogaha chitta vritti nirodhaha. Then comes Tata drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. Swarupa, they'll be able to know what they are. Their original self unfolds. So when they know who they are, how they are, what they are, then of course they'll be able to know the Satchidananda also, which is different from that. And they'll also be able to know what is Jada, Sat, which is different from them. If one thing is known, other two are known because of the differences. So the ultimate result of yoga has to be a clear knowledge of Sat, Satchit and Satchidananda. Here we are particular about that Satchit. So if I know who I am, What is my bundle of weaknesses and strengths? My efficiencies, capacities, bundle of my samskaras. So one has to compulsorily do yoga, understand what they are, and know where they are. Ataha, from there, Purusha, hey soul, Utkrama, get up and move upwards. Get up and move. Achieve progress. This also I told you several times. This achievement of progress or this potential for progress is there only in a human life. Only in a human life. In an animal's life, it's all instincts. Nidrahara, bhayamaitana, full stop. That's the indirect. There's no question of analysis. There's no question of introspection. There's no question of effort to progress. Nothing. It's mechanical. But here, it's not mechanical. It's beyond that. Of course, Nidrahara bhayamaitana is there. I'm not denying it. But more than that, there is that analysis. There is capacity to understand, capacity to visualize, imagine. So many things are there, which no other animal has. Depending on that, one has to progress. The only opportunity as human beings. So what is progress? Just now I have explained. That is increase in the strength and purity of the soul, which is an objective definition. Increase in the strength of the soul, purity of the soul. One more parameter we can understand whether the soul is strong or not is a question of fear. Those who are weak will be afraid of so many things. A person who is strong enough will be bold and brave. They never fear. So whatever gives that bravery, whatever that gives us that boldness, capacity to confront things straight, yes, they are all positive. And it results in the strength of the soul. The strength of the soul and purity of the soul are the two different faces of the same coin. When there are pollutants like kama, krodha, etc., the soul becomes weaker because they eat away the strength of the soul. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. They eat away the strength of the soul. So they have to be tamed, kept under control, and should be used as our slaves. That's possible only when the soul is purer and stronger. Again, I repeat that again and again, that this definition of progress, this definition of good or bad is an objective one. It's not subjective. Most of the time we confuse with subjective definitions and go wrong. It's not so. Anyone you tell them, when the soul will be strong, if you are tolerant, you are strong. If you can do things which are difficult, then you are strong. If you are weak, you cannot do all these things. To face the reality, it requires strength. To accept reality, it requires strength. To run away from reality doesn't need strength. It is cowardice. So when I understand things in this way, we can clearly define strength and weakness, good and bad, punya or papa, in terms of the strength and purity of the soul. Utkrama, ma'avapatha, don't fall down, move ahead. How? The strength has to be increased. Weaknesses have to be reduced. Capacity has to increase. Incapacity has to go. How to increase the capacity? Elsewhere, in other Veda mantra, it says, Satya Shavasa. Satya Shavasa is the word they use. Shavas means strength. You human beings are strong because of Satya, truth. Truth is your strength. Satya Shavas. Satya Shavasaha, it says. It addresses all Jivatmans who have got truth as their strength. Truth is understanding reality. Knowing things as they are, as much as they are. Now this itself, in other words, is called as Jnana. Jnana is knowing things as they are. Famous example is there. Knowing a snake as a snake and knowing a rope as a rope. It's a very old classical example. Both look alike. If you mistake rope for a snake, yes, you are into problems and difficulties. On the contrary, if you understand snake as a rope, still it's dangerous. So jnana is, knowledge is, realizing truth is, understanding a rope as a rope and snake as a snake. Then there is no problem at all. So this is jnana. And with this jnana only, we can move ahead. That's the progress we can achieve. And it's only for human beings, it's a special opportunity to develop their knowledge and wisdom. I got that such an instrument. Sharirendra Manas is congenial to this. The whole system is compatible for gaining knowledge beyond the instinctive knowledge. So do that. Do that. Utkrama. Don't fall down. Don't fall down means to go down in the capacity, to become more impure, to become weak. Don't do that. You have got the capacity to discriminate. Elsewhere it says Manurbhava. Manurbhava. It means you are a thinking animal. You are a thinking animal. Think, analyze, discriminate. Become a Manava, become a Manushya. In Nirukta it says, Manushyaha Kasmat. Why human beings are called as human beings? Manushyaha Kasmat. Then there he answers, Yaskacharya, Matva Karmani Sivyati. Matva Karmani Sivyati iti Manushyaha. They think, analyze, they are able to foresee. If I do like this, what will happen? If I do like this, what will happen? They are not forced by the instincts. They are able to check the instincts. Stay for a while. Think about the alternatives available and what are all the pros and cons of those alternatives. And finally, they take a decision. Now, the decision is not exactly based on the instincts, but it's based on analysis. That's jnana. Manurbhava. Become analytic. Become knowledgeable. Become wise. That's what it says. So using this special capacity, what is bestowed on us, yes, we analyze, think, and finally arrive at a decision and get the best results. If you don't do it, it's a fall. And to fall down is not your nature, is not your feature. Ma avapathaha. Don't fall down. The last resort is, say if you are not able to improve, at least stay where you are. Don't fall down. That's the last resort. But you have got the capacity to move up, you have got the capacity to improve yourself and progress, do it. You will not have an opportunity like this in any other life. It's a human life. There while saying so, they speak of one more thing. Ma chitva asmal lokat. The same mantra, 814. Utkramata purusha mavapathaha. Then one more thing is that after that comes this. Ma chitta asmal lokat. Don't sever yourself from this world. Don't run away from where you are. Don't cut yourself from the environment where you are. It's very simple to understand. The environment where you live is your workplace for your progress. If you run away from that, how you can achieve things? Yes, in that environment, there will be so many positives, negatives, everything. Blows, blames, praises, profits, losses, everything will be there. That's life. That's life. Don't run away, because wherever you go, these things are there as long as you are living. You may be here, you may be elsewhere. So things will be there. So why run away? Tackle it where you are, face it where you are, fight with it where you are. And this life itself is a war. Mahe ranaya chakshase. There's another piece of the Veda mantra. Rana. Rana is warfield. It's a warfield. With that spirit, you have to work. You cannot run away, showing your back to the fight. Stay there. Fight. Tackle straight. And win, if possible. Now, the option open for us is either we win or die fighting. That's all. No question of running away. Given any moment, either we are fighting or we have won. That's the spirit with which we have to tackle life. You can call it as a sportive spirit if you want. A sportive spirit with which we have to work in this life. No question of running away. No question of running away. Ma chitta asma lokat. It's for all. It's for all. Why I'm stressing it as for all, because many sannyasis, mendicants, whatever you say, they are in the habit of running away from their places. They wear that saffron robe and run away because they are not able to tackle the problems of the day-to-day life. Most of them. Very few embrace sannyasa ashram by knowing what it is and with that mood and temperament. But most of the people, they're all escapists. To run away from the brunt of the day-to-day life, they wear saffron and run away. Now this is specifically addressed to them. Don't run away, don't run away. Running away from the problems will not solve a problem. In fact, it increases the problem. Stand there firm and fight it out. Yes, things will happen. And that fighting too is not once, twice. It is again and again and again. That's what's called as abhyasa. Abhyasa is to do it again and again. It's again a Vedic dictum, which is told in the form of a sutra by Patanjali. He says, Yogaha chittarutti nirodhaha abhyasa vairagyabhyam tan nirodhaha. Abhyasa is attempting it again and again, doing it again and again. repeat it, be doing it, be at it until you get control of it, until you get hold of it. It will happen. That's the benefit of practice. That's the benefit of doing it again and again. Do it. And vairagya is detachment. Internally, you get detached. Internally. Externally, machitta asma loka. Don't run away from the situation. You be there. Internally, you detach yourself. You are supposed to perform your duties, but perform it without attachment. How do you understand it? Do it clearly understanding that it's my duty, I'm doing it. But what is the benefit I get? Don't worry about it. That is detachment. Doing work is attachment. Not thinking about the fruits or benefits is detachment. So one is external, doing things promptly, with dedication, with concentration, with all the strengths converged. And internally, not worry about the fruits, that's a detachment. This is what Krishna said, Karmani eva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. And the root of that is in Veda mantra. It says, Kurvanneveha karmani. Karmani, these actions, these duties of mine are there for me to perform, to do, to discharge. Kurvanneveha karmani. How long? Jijivishet chatagam samaha. For 100+ years, be doing it. Considering, understanding very clearly that's my duty and I have to do it. What is the benefit? Don't worry about it. Na lipyate nare, that's the last one. Evam tai nanyathe tosti na karma lipyate nare, you will not get attached. We do like this. Many times I've told, it's very easy to speak. It's very easy to lecture about it. But to take it to heart and do it, yes, it requires sufficient effort. But we have to do it. There is no other goal. Only then we are rightly recognized as human beings. If we don't do it, we are in human form, of course, but our life is an animal's life. Ma chitta small lokat. One big hurdle is there when we are doing all these things. That is the fear of death. And that fear of death is the mother of all fears. A person who is not afraid of death can do anything. Whereas a person with fear of death will not be able to do things with all zeal. That fear of death is very, very great, embedded in every one of us. Our reflex actions prove it. The soul, which is in the Sharira, Indriya Manas, will always want to protect it, wants to save it. Because it's a rare tool that it has got. It doesn't want to lose it as easily as possible. It wants to save it. Except, of course, some people who doesn't have thought, mind, wisdom. They have got that suicidal tendency. It's a disease. It's a disease. It's not normal. It's very, very abnormal. But for that, every creature, not only human beings, every creature wants to save itself, wants to extend its life, wants to prolong its life. It's a basic nature. And that is, in other words, called as a fear of death. You are afraid of death. But if you understand what death is, which I have discussed several times, not once or twice, several times I have discussed. If you understand what death is, yes, the fear about death comes down and down and down, gets reduced. And it's possible that at one point of time, you'll be bold enough even to face death. You will not be afraid of it. What is death after all? Just a Passover. It's a transition state from this life to another life. That's all. Soul doesn't die. It's eternal. The impressions on the soul will be carried over. The efforts what we have put in this life will all be in capsule form beyond the soul and will be carried forward to the next birth. What is it we have lost? Maximum what we have lost is this Sharira Indriya Manas over. That's all. And of course, all the relationships, all the memories attached to the Sharira Indriya Manas, yes, they also go. But it has to go one day or the other. It will go, whether I want it or not, whether I like it or not, whether I know it or not. It will go one day. But I lost nothing because I get a new setup, I get a new framework, I get new relationships, I get new memories, I get new tool. Nothing is lost. Why stick onto this tool when it is not in a state of functioning? It becomes old by usage. It becomes dilapidated. It becomes obsolete. Throw it out, fine. That's what you do with all other things in life. A car, it becomes old, throw it, buy a new one. Clothes, they are torn, old, throw it out, buy a new one. Anything, that's what we do in our life. The house is old. Sell it, buy a new house. We do it so casually. We do it so easily. But when it comes to the question of Sharira Indriya Manas, we are afraid. The same principle has to be applied here also. The Sharira Indriya Manas too is a tool. Once it's not in a position to deliver goods, once it's not in a position to function properly, throw it out and get a new one. As simple as that. So when death is understood in this way, just as a transition, and the one which is responsible for this transition is what we call it as Mrityu, Nirruti. So when death sets in, we are into a transition. We move from present framework to a new framework. Fine. It has to happen. It has to happen. We cannot use this Sharira Indriya Manas, the tool, forever. It's not possible. It's not possible. Because it is made out of Sat, the Jada, it has to wear out. It will wear out. It becomes useless. Throw it out and get a new one. That's all death is. So once we understand death in the objective way, in the right perspective, then Mrityu Padvisham. Padvisham means the shackles of death, which binds us, the fear of death, all that. Avamunchamanaha. Leave it out, throw it out, cut it out. Release yourself from the bondage of the fear of death. Mrityoho Padvisham Avamunchamanaha. There's one more secret here. One who has overcome the fear of death, not death, I repeat, no one can overcome death. Overcoming death means overcoming the fear of death. So one who has overcome the fear of death, or maybe the fear of death is at the lowest ebb. Yes, they are brave, they are strong, they can do anything. No other fears will torture them. No other fear will trouble them. Because the mother of all fears, that is the fear of death, is tackled. And they are not afraid of that. It's not impossible. It's not an imagination. You look into the lives of so many noble people, so many pious people, so many saints. Study. They were never afraid of death. They said, okay, it is something imminent which is going to happen, fine. And at the same time, they never invited it to. They never invited death. They deferred death. They worked against death. They are so active. Finally, when death came, they said, okay, it has to come one day, it has come. Let me quit. They take it so lightly, they take it so simply. What about martyrs? We know they have shed their flesh for the sake of a cause, maybe for the country, for some principle, for some social reformation. I got so many people have become martyrs. They never cared for death. They never cared for death. They're strong enough. They said, okay, this is what I have to do. I'm doing it. If death comes, let it come. After all, what is death? It's a transformation from one, it's a transition from one life to another life. That's all. But during that process, I have contributed something for the welfare of the society and the world. Mother's a martyr. But this has been wrongly interpreted in several religions. They terrorize. They force. But to terrorize and to force and to be cruel is the weakest soul. It's not strong. But for the sake of the welfare of the other creatures around us, if the person sacrifices his life, the person sacrifices one's life, yes, that is his strength. The demarcation between these two is very thin. The line is very thin. We have to understand very clearly. To be a martyr is different. To be a terrorist is different. Both ultimately don't fear for death. That's true. But one is for selfish cause and ignorance. Other one is for something good and beyond selfishness, for the welfare of others. Both shed their lives. But shedding our lives for a cause, for the good of others, yes, it is called as, a person is called as a martyr. Hutatma, that's the word. Has sacrificed his own life. That's a Hutatma, martyr. Another one is misguided. They create terror. They create intolerance. They kill and get killed. That's not martyrdom. That's not martyrdom. So overcome this. Mrityoho padvishama. Avamunchamanaha. Machitta asmal loka. Don't run away from the practical things. Agnehe suryasya sandrishaha. Be life-giving. Be light-giving. Like Agni and Surya. Surya during the daytime. Agni during the night time. They show light. They guide. They motivate us. Now be a power like that. Agni, Surya, they are all Sat. But that's Sat in the sense of the Adi Bhautika meaning. But in the Adhyatmika thing, Surya is one who motivates. Agni is one who takes us towards progress. Agi Gatav, Surya is Sri Gatav. Be that. Be progressive day and night. Fear not. Identify where you are. And move towards a higher level, a higher plinth. Utkrāmātaha purusha ma avapathaha mrityoho padvisham avamunchamanaha. Break the shackles of the fear of death. Ma chitta asmal lokat. Don't run away. Don't be an escapist. Face it. Fight it out. Agnehe Suryasya Sandrisha. Now this ideal, many people have done. For example, Vivekananda, his life history, somebody says, you are such a great person. You have done penance and so many other things. If you mind, you can get moksha in this very life. Why not try? And he says, no. Until the tears of my brothers and sisters are wiped out finally, I don't want moksha. I'm ready to born again and again and again. They're not ready to run away. They're prepared to come again and again. They're ready to face the challenges of life. That is bravery. That is the strength of this soul. Same thing with reference to Dayananda Saraswati. Somebody says, you have achieved so much. If you mind, you can run away from these problems and sit in a cave somewhere in the Himalayas and do tapas and get moksha. And he says, no, I don't want moksha. I don't want salvation. I want to work for the welfare of my brothers and sisters in the world. I want the lost man too to be happy without tears. If I am supposed to take birth again and again, 100 times, 1,000 times, I don't mind. I'm ready for it. I don't want moksha. I don't want salvation. To wipe out the tears of my less fortunate brothers and sisters is my moksha. Just have given two examples. Every saint speaks like that. Every noble person speaks like that. They want the welfare of others. And they work for it day and night, like Surya and Agni. Agnehe Suryasya Sandrisha, similar to the Surya and Agni, which guide, which give light, which are luminescent. The same way they also work. Wherever they are, there is no darkness. Wherever they are, there is no sorrow. Wherever they are, there is no pain. There's a soothing hand always to take care of. Utkramatah purusha mavapathaha mrutyoho padvisham amunchamanaha machitta smal lokat agnehe suryasya sandrisha. Now, whenever we are in a state of depression, whenever we are bogged down by difficulties, this is a mantra that we have to remember. You can just get up and face things. When you are in a state of fear, this is a mantra we have to chant. All that fear will go. We'll get all the strength and boldness to face the situation straight. We'll not run away. And that is what is required in a human life. In an animal's life, that thing is different. When it sees the opponent who is less strong, it fights. Otherwise, it runs away. But here it's not so. Let us think about it again and again, and let us continue day after tomorrow. Okay, thank you.